All right, so if you've only just joined, we're going to start lying down for a nice change. So if you lie on your back as if we're taking Shavasana, so arms by the side of the body, let's straighten the legs if that's comfortable for your lower spine. Feel free to bend the knees if you wish. Let's think about the back of the head, just lifting and drawing a little bit further away so we have that length in the back of the neck. We take a moment to close the eyes. This may be the calmest part of your day, so let's make the most of it. Let's feel the breath in through the nose, and then softening head to toe with the exhalation. With the next breath, let's picture the diaphragm. So as you breathe in, diaphragm pushing down to create that space for the lungs to expand and the belly balloons out. And then as you breathe out, the belly goes lovely and soft and folds. Let's have two more like that. Nice big breath in. See if you can feel what full lung capacity would feel like. So the belly ballooning, the ribs lifting, flaring, but also pressing into the mat, expanding sideways, puffing up the chest, and then that full sigh of relief exhalation. Last one like that, and then we'll work with a hip flexion. So when you're ready, let's draw the right knee into the chest. Just feel that work in the hip flexors, drawing gently in without forcing, and then we're just going to switch side to side. So glide the leg flat to the mat and draw the other knee in. Now, as we go side to side, let's just really tune into what's happening in the pelvis. So it's very tempting as we draw try and do this so you can see, as we draw the knee in, it's very tempting to fully imprint the spine just to get the knee in more. Let's see if we can keep that neutral spine position. So you may place one hand in the small of your back, and then just use the other hand to gently draw the knee in, but really working with a hip flexion rather than a pelvic tilt. It's a small detail, but you'll feel more sensations in the top of the leg. So a couple of more times, alternating knee in towards the chest, and they say towards, so we're not flattening. See what happens to the other leg, the knee lifts. So a nice gentle movement, side to side, so that we respect and we relax the lower back. There'll be opportunities for cat-cow where we can work into the spine. So here I want you to really just think about the hips. All right, we'll do the same sort of movement, but with a hamstring stretch. So we're going to stretch the back of the leg. Again, I could fully imprint the spine with that pelvic, that posterior tilt to get the leg closer in because it would feel more satisfying. But let's observe that neutral spine position and take it in turns to draw one leg in. Now, if it's very far away, let's take a bend into the other knee. And let's just find that nice hamstring stretch where we're not imprinting the spine. So it's really working into the back of the leg without outsourcing the movement to the pelvis. So again, alternate legs in towards the chest. There's no kind of Shavasana or nose to knee sort of a movement here. Then back of the neck still long. Back to the shoulders pressed into the floor. Let's just have one more on each side. Really feel the length in the back of the leg. Give it a squeeze if you like. On the last round, side to side, let's point and flex the toes and circle the ankles. So really pointing, so we're stretching the top of the ankle, top of the foot, and then curl the toes to the face, really stretching into the calf muscle, and then a nice big circle of the ankle, but without forcing. Because of the type of joint that we have in the ankle, we can't expect it to be a really gliding, smooth circle. Let's take it to the last side. Let's point the toes, curl the toes to the face, and then taking the ankle in a circle. There'll be a couple of times in each direction. And then both knees into the chest. Think about mirrored capital Ds. So we draw the knees into the chest, out wide, get that lovely inner thigh stretch. Maybe the feet find each other, then the knees find each other. Up the center line of the body, out wide. Gentle pressure on the thighs, the knees to increase the range of movement, but nothing forced. Then let's change the direction. So knees away, maybe the feet find the floor. Gently pressing the knees out wide, and then hands on the knees to draw them in towards the armpits and join. Let's have one more in that direction. And then we'll take a spinal twist. So for the spinal twist, let's place right knee over left, double hook for those who can. Lift the hips and adjust them over to the right, and then let the knees drop to the left. Think about slightly tucking your bottom under, so we've got a long line in the lower spine, arms in a wide T, stretching for the side walls, gently coaxing the knees down to the floor, but let's keep the shoulder blades on the floor. Just gently rock your head side to side with a soft jaw, and then we're going to take it to the other side. So unwind the legs, left knee over right. Now lift the hips from the floor and adjust them over to the left, ready to drop the knees to the right. Again, reaching for the side walls, a slight tuck in the tailbone. Whenever we take a spinal twist, we want a long spine. Reaching for the side walls, squeeze the inner thighs together and slowly take the head over to one side, see what the range of movement's like, and then over to the other side. Wonderful. Slowly unwind the legs. Let's have the knees into the chest to rock up to sitting, or you can roll onto one side. So whichever way to come up is good for you. Let's extend the right leg. I'm mirroring you. Left foot into the thigh. And let's take a nice neck release here. So even if your knee reaches the floor, lift it, interlace the fingers around the knee, and then let the knee draw down towards the floor until the arms are straight. We're dropping the head in the opposite direction. So you're getting a neck release on this left side. Nice deep breaths with a long spine. We press the knee a little bit more into the floor to deepen the neck release. And maybe we take the head a little bit further back, but keep the jaw soft. Shoulders down away from the ears. Maybe the head dips further towards the shoulder. So just feeling a nice level of gentle stretch on the side of the neck without forcing. We're coming into nose towards knee. So now squaring up over this front leg. Let's stretch the hands overhead. Deep breath in here and breathe out. We'll come into a fold. Maybe crossing the hands around the knee for a secure hold wherever the hands fall. And we'll take 3 breaths here. So give into the weight of the head. So the chin will come towards the chest. Feel the crown of the head starting to melt towards the knee. Softening of the shoulder blades. And a gentle stretch of the back of the leg, no forcing. Head's going to be last to come up. Pace the hands back, rebuilding the spine. And last of all, lift the head. We're taking a spinal twist. Right hand to left knee, other hand behind. Remember, lengthen the spine before we twist. If we twist with that kind of curve in the lower back, we're going to hurt the back. So tuck the bottom under, so long through the tailbone, and then start to swivel head, neck, shoulders, ribs, all the way to the back, with shoulders down away from the ears. Breathing deeply, wringing out the waist, eyeballs right into the corner, and then gently release. We'll just take a gentle counter twist, hand on the outside of this right knee and swivel and look over the shoulder, and then we'll take the whole thing to the other side. So the release out, we'll do the neck release first. So let's lift the knee so we can have the other thumb on top, holding onto the knee, shoulders back and down, and slowly let the knee drop, head in the opposite direction. And release tension from the shoulders, long spine. So rather than collapsing to the side, let's think about the length of the spine, so that kind of bamboo reed swaying in the wind rather than collapsing. We press the knee in towards the floor as much as you need to get the nice level of stretch, and then small adjustments to the angle of the head to change where we release the neck. Nice and soft in the jaw. And then we're coming to that forward fold. So we're lining ourselves up over the front leg. Take a deep breath in, stretching overhead, navel to spine, long spine, stretching to the fingers, and breathe out, come into a fold. Bow the head right away, let the head dangle, right fruit, ready to drop. Softening across the shoulder blades so they slightly part, not forced, just melting and relaxed. Decompressing in the lower spine with a gentle forward flexion of the spine. Nice deep breaths in and out of the nose. And when we come up, the head will be the last to come up. So release the hands from the legs, place the hands back, rebuild the spine, and we're ready for a spinal twist again. So left hand to right knee, lengthen through the spine, so bottoms up to start to swivel, head, neck, shoulders, ribs, eyeballs disappearing into the corners, soft jaw, long spine, so crown of the head to the ceiling, sit bones into the floor. Nice deep breath, breathing out, we wring out the waist, maybe go a millimeter further around, and then release. Counter stretch, hand to knee, and take a gentle counter there. We want to just warm up the core ready for later, so we'll come back onto our spine. Again, think about a neutral spine, so maybe one hand glides under the lower spine, press the spine into those fingers, and come to tabletop. We're going to count down from 10 as we take the knees away from us, but we'll all stop when we feel less pressure on those fingers. So we need to maintain that neutral spine. Okay, long neck, shoulders back and down. So no big arches in the spine. Nicely imprint the spine into the fingers. Let's get ready. So hold in your core and start to lengthen the knees away from you for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Remember to stop when you get to your limit. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at your limit for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drawing in slowly. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Once more. Now we have a better sense of where our limit is. We'll maybe go straight there. And tummy button in towards the spine. Extend away. Find your limit. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, hold 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drawing back in slowly. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A little rock on the spine. We're going to come onto all fours. We'll take nose to knee. If you know you like to do this from a down dog position, you go straight into that. I'm going to do it on all fours with everyone else. So let's make sure the shoulders are over the wrists, on top of the toes. Let's take the right leg out behind you. And as you breathe out, tap the same elbow on the same side. Breathe in, re-extend the leg. Now you're going for your nose. Breathe out, round the back, curve, empty the lungs. Re-extend the last position to the opposite elbow. So take a little bit of a twist here, turning the body to the side wall, and then lower the knee to the floor. We go to this other leg. Extend the leg out behind you. A breath in here, shoulders down, bottom slightly tucked. And let's take the knee forwards towards the corresponding elbow. Empty the lungs, re-extend. Deep breath in here, breathe out, reach for the nose. Chin to chest, and extend. Breath in here, take it to the opposite elbow. So it's a bit of a twist in the spine, using the obliques, lift, squeeze, empty the lungs, and reset the knee down. So we'll keep going. If we're in down dog, we extend the leg, deep breath in, breathe out, body weight shifts forwards, we tap the triceps or elbow. Re-extend, deep breath in here, breathing out towards the nose. Re-extend, deep breath in, taking that twist, reaching for the opposite elbow. Now let's go to the other leg. Whether your knees are on the floor, all the same, we're getting the same lovely movement in the spine. So here now, let's think about the hands to protect the wrists and your shoulders. As we move through those three positions with the knee, we still want to think about turning those jaw lids. So one more set, whether your knees are down or you're in down dog. Once more, each leg. We want to think about the right hand planting the fingers into the floor, but also as if the right hand is trying but failing to turn a Jali clockwise. The left hand is trying the intention to turn a Jali anti-clockwise. So just to keep those arm muscles fired up. I'm on my last leg now, literally. Let's take the body weight forwards, tap if the knees are down. Same movement in the spine. Down dog, it's a full twist. Shoulders out away from the ears. And then take the knees down to the floor. Let's rest out the wrists. I'm going to take you through the melting heart with a thread through for a stretch for the tops of the shoulders. And then we are going to do open wings, which I kind of shied away from teaching on Zoom, but I think it's going to be fine. Let's first of all come to a melting heart position. So you can untuck the toes here. If we start mirror, if you mirror me, your left hand threading through, and then the left cheek is going to come onto the floor. So threading as far through as you can manage, placing the cheek on the floor. And let's just pause here. So I've got a nice sticky yoga mat as a mat. So when I place the back of my arm on the floor, I can then kind of pull back and get more space in the top of this left shoulder. So a little bit of body weight on the shoulder just to increase the release in the shoulder. My palm is facing upwards. There are options here to take your spare, if you're mirroring me, your right arm overhead, and this turns the chest more to the side. But that's icing on the cake and it's not necessary. Let's take 5 breaths here, just melting the head into the floor, feeling some space created in the shoulder joints and relaxing down. Last breath in, no sudden movements. The hand that's overhead comes back in front of the face, press in, and we're going to go straight to the other side. So as if we were coming into cat-cow, the other arm threading through with the palm facing upwards, ready to come onto your cheek, place down, and then your chest is being kind of almost pulling away from this palm to create more space. Option to take the other arm overhead. So we start to twist the upper body, but again, that's very much secondary to our target shoulder. So allowing a little bit of body weight to come onto the top of the shoulder. We have the arm fully imprinted so we can gently pull back and create space in the shoulder. Closing the eyes, resting down, softening. Don't worry about the position of the feet. If they naturally shift to a more comfortable position, that's fine. Think about where we're trying to release tension and get a stretch. One more breath here. And then the hand that's maybe overhead, in front of the forehead, slowly press in and lift up. Open wings. If you mirror me, we're going to extend your left arm and we're going to lie down on the left cheek. So I'm going to suggest that we come at this from lying on our side. So if you lie on your left-hand side and think about your chest going towards the floor and extending your left arm. So we slide down. Now, the point here is the arm out to the side, wrist in line with the shoulder or slightly down towards the waist. So finding anywhere in this range, a nice position, extending the arm. When we're on the cheek, then we can start to roll onto our sides. Now, it may be that with the mobility in your shoulder, we need to take the knees forwards and rest here in a more supported open wing position. It may be that your top knee lifts and you maybe open more to the side. So this is why I've shied away from doing this, but it's so beneficial for that shoulder and to counter the rounding we get in the shoulders that I'm going to plow on. So the fingers, those left fingers on the floor, palm facing down, they can start to walk a little bit further away from you, but find that we're creating space in the top of the shoulder, front to the chest, and just to soften here for 3 more breaths. The head should feel fully supported, so it's fine to lift and place the head on a cushion. So if you find this is a really nice stretch, I hope you come back to it and maybe take even 5 minutes on each side here. This is all gearing you up to moving in a moment. So following a very specific order, let's straighten out the legs. Once they're straight, slowly roll onto your belly and your forehead. Once you're there, slowly take a bend into the elbow. And then we're going to go straight to the other side. So let's start lying on your right hand side. If you're used to this, go straight in. Anyone who does my yin classes, go straight ahead into this. So now you're extending your right arm, palm facing down. Let's find the chest, the cheek on the floor. Walk those fingers a little bit further away, and either pressing into the fingers or just lifting the chest. Let's open a little bit deeper into that side twist. And then breathing, finding where I like to kind of get that counterweight of my top knee leaning back to keep me in position. The top arm can go behind your back, but you'll feel the shoulder blades come close together. They're behind the spine. And that's part of this lovely opening across the chest. Be fussy about being comfortable. So if you need to slightly back off or go deeper, do respond and make changes accordingly. So let's have 3 breaths here, softening, opening the shoulders, particularly if you're going to be sitting at a desk or driving later. If we reset those shoulders to a lovely open position, it'll help us later on. Again, specific order, so there's no sharpness to any of the joints. Start by straightening out the legs. Roll onto the belly and the forehead. From here, slowly take a bend into the elbows. You can take a little child pose here if that feels nice. I'm going to lift the camera and we're going into sun salutations. For the last few minutes, let's just take a few gentle rounds of sun salutations. So is that too high? That will do nicely. So slowly make your way back onto your feet. Roll the shoulders and let's just have a swing out with the shoulders, hopefully feeling a little bit more open in the chest. Let's stand at the front of your space. And with the shoulders back and down, bottom slightly tucked, long neck. Let's take a deep breath in and stretch the arms overhead. Already it should feel like the shoulders are moving, gliding, breathing out, coming into a fold. Hold the backs of your legs, bow the head. Take a moment here. If you're able to hold the calf muscles or ankles, take a firm hold and as if pull the ankles up towards the knees and deepen that stretch, but without forcing. Take a halfway lift. We're stepping the right foot far back to come into a runner lunge, and let's make sure this front knee is over the ankle, not too far forwards. Let's take a moment here, fire up your glutes as if you're pulling your inner thighs towards each other. Spin those imaginary jaw lids, firming up the arms and step back to a plank. Bottom tuck long from the heels to the crown of the head. We can take the knees down first, but let's meet on our bellies. Take a baby cobra or full up dog, your choice. Then tuck the toes and let's meet in a down dog. Pedal it through from one foot to the other. Now with the spine, let's think about the sit bones riding up the wall behind to lengthen the spine. Find those jaw lids spinning away from each other so that the elbow creases start to point forwards. Find a little bit of a gap between the shoulder blades so your front ribs come together, firming up your abs. We're stepping the right foot forwards. Try to get your knees down to the floor. Take hold of the right knee and place it to the front of your space. Tuck your toes under at the back and we'll come to the front of the mat. Let's take a deep breath in, stretching overhead. Breathe into the hands, knees, and then breathing out to heart center. Left side. Take a deep breath in and stretch. Breathing out, melt down into a fold. Bow the head. Take a halfway lift. Left foot stepping far back. So if it doesn't go far enough initially, you can knee and toe the leg further back. Tucking the toes and lifting the knee if that's available to you. Let's spin those jaw lids and lengthen from the heel to the crown of the head. Firming up your abs, drawing your front ribs together. We glide the foot back and take a plank. Shoulder blades are still slightly parted here, bottom still tucking under, and then chaturanga to up dog if that's your practice. Otherwise, knees down, elbows brushing the waist to come to the belly, and then taking a little spine extension. We tuck the toes and meet in down dog. Pedal it through from one foot to the other. Long spine. We're ready to step the left foot forward. You bend the knees, lift the heels, and lightly step forward or knees down first. Help the left foot to the front. We're coming to the front of the mat. Lightly step forward. Take a deep breath in. Stretching overhead. Hands meet and return. Last round each side. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out and fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out, right foot steps back. Breathe into the plank. Breathe out, down to the belly. Breathe into a spine extension. You're keeping up, breathe out, down dog. Breathe in, right foot forwards. Breathe out, left foot forwards. Breathe in, stretch overhead. Breathe out, heart center, last side. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out to fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. Shoulders down, long neck. Breathe out, left foot far back. Breathe into a plank, jaw lids, bottom tucked. Breathe out to the belly. Breathe in, curl up. Breathe out, down dog. Breathe in, left foot to the front. Breathe out, right foot forwards. Breathe in, stand tall. Breathe out, heart center. Surya Namaskara, B. Breathe in, arms overhead. Let's take the knees together, big toes together, weight into the heels, and start to sink down. Weight right back into the heels, like you're trying to sit in a low chair. Then maybe it's a little bit lower than you thought. And a little bit lower until we're in this power squat. Thighs as close to parallel to the floor as you can manage. Press into the wall in front. Breathe deeply. Now see if you can back off just an inch so your belly comes off the thighs. A little bit of heat coming into the thighs. Hands to the floor, step the right foot back. Well done. Take a plank. Down to the belly and curl up. And then down dog. Tuck the toes, send the hips back. Crescent. Step your right foot forwards. Find your balance or maybe walk up your leg. Bottom tucks, hip flexor stretching. If you can, tap the hands overhead. We're tapping the fingers down to the floor to step to the front. Chair pose. Knees bent, hips low. Reach the arms out. Heels press into the floor as we rise up. Hands meet and return. We've got the last side. Take a deep breath in. Knees together, big toes together. Now shoulders down. Zip up. Weight into the heels. We're finding that chair. Always a little bit lower than we expect. Keep going, long spine. Stretching into the fingers. A little bit lower, lower, until we can press into that power chair squat. Long spine. Last time, so we always have more resilience than we realize. Lift your belly just an inch off the thighs. Hold, and then hands down. Step your left foot back. Scissor the inner thighs together. Turn those jaw lids and take a plank. Bottom tucked. Down to the belly. And we curl up. You can always take child pose here. Take it back to a down dog. Toes tucked. Hips high. We step the left foot forwards. Come up into a crescent. Remember, walk your way up. Bottom tucked. Hands can be on the hips. Otherwise, a little bit of a stretch overhead. Get that lovely stretch down the front of the thigh. We're nearly done. Fingers to the floor. Light as you can. Return to your chair. Big toes together. Knees squeezing together to turn those adductors. Lifting up through the arms, shoulders back and down, heels into the floor, rising up. And then let's float the arms down. Take the legs a little bit wider, have a little sway of the hips side to side, maybe even a figure eight. And then let's swing out the arms, and that's it. I'm out of breath. I hope you're a bit warmer. All good, well done. And there we are.